Hare Krishna everyone, Danvat Pranam, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. We'll sing bhajan quickly and then we will start with our katha. Still waiting for more people to join, so hopefully they'll join by then. So Navya was supposed to sing this originally, but she will sing this later, so please bear with me. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम मुख में तुलसी घट मेरा मुख में तुलसी घट में राम जब बोलो तब सीताराम मुख में तुलसी घट में राम जब बोलो तब सीताराम मुख में तुलसी घट मेरा जब बोलो तब सीताराम
कौशल्या का लाला दशरथ जी का प्यारा
कौशल्या का लाला राम दशरथ जी का प्यारा राम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
दशरथ नंदन राजा राम जानकी वल्लभ 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 सीताराम
हनुमान के स्वामी राम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित राम
रात को कुनिया प्रेम को काम कभी भजोगे राम का नाम
रात को निंदिया दिन को काम कभी भजोगे राम का नाम
रात को निया दिन को काम कभी भजोगे राम का नाम
रात को निंदिया दिन को काम कभी भजोगे राम का नाम
करते रहिए अपने काम लेते रहिए हरि का नाम
करते रहिए अपने काम लेते रहिए हर का नाम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम रघुपति राघव रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम जय राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय सिया राम श्री राम जय राम जय 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 सिया राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय सिया राम
राम जय जय
लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's say our Mangalacharan prayers very quick. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya
ज्ञानाञ्जन
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागण रघुनाथान्वितं सतं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सागण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरम् गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we'll start with our Ram Katha. So, as you know, we are celebrating Ram Navmi today, which is the appearance day or birthday of Lord Ram, right? Has everybody here read Ramayana? Yes. Vinita, Athar, you read Ramayana? You familiar with the story? Familiar with the story? Okay. Yeah? Okay. You know the basic story, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, well, I will be sharing some portions of the Lord Ram's pastimes, and we'll see what questions everybody has. But let's discuss some pastimes. And I have some slides here. There is really nothing on the slides, it's just pictures. So, this is just to kind of keep you entertained because there is no information on it, it's just mostly pictures. But extra points for whoever can guess the pastimes going on in these pictures. You can think in your head, oh, what is going on in this picture? And it may not be anything to do with what I'm talking. So it's just some pastimes here. All right, we'll start with our Ram Katha. So, today is the day on the occasion of Ram Navmi to celebrate the appearance of Lord Ram, why he came, what all did he do, what pastimes did he do to delight us, to give us pleasure. So, yeah. Yeah, so you better listen carefully because there will be Kahoot later on. So, who knows the meaning of word Ram? Nam Nam, Abhi, we were all chanting, right? We were all chanting Ram Nam, right? Hanumanji was always saying Jai Shri Ram. Before punching any demon, he'd say Jai Shri Ram, book, Jai Shri Ram, book, right? So, what does Ram mean? What does Ram mean? Or, okay, what does Krishna mean? What is the meaning of the word Krishna? Yes, Navya? Yes, all attractive, right? So, Lord Ram, anybody, adults? Yes. Yes, yes. So Ram means reservoir of all bliss or reservoir of all pleasure, right? Reservoir of all anand, right? Ram. Huh? So, and you know that in Bhagavad Gita we have already read so far that in this world really there is no happiness, right? We have read Dukkhalyam Ashashvatam, right? Huh? And we have read Anityam Asukham Lokam. Vinita, can you recite that Dukkhalyam Ashashvatam verse? Do you know? Huh? You don't remember? Okay. Mamupetya Punarjanma. Can you recite now? Oh no, okay. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalyam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata. And then in the next verse, this comes in 8th chapter, okay, 8.15, and next verse 8.16, Krishna says that Brahma bhuvanalaloka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So basically, both those verses, Krishna is saying that this world that I made, right? Krishna made. I am the manufacturer, the creator of this world. So I can tell you the exact nature of this world, right? So he says the nature of this world is that there will be eternal miseries here. Dukh alyam ashashvatam. That there will be miseries, and this world is temporary. This world is not eternal. This world is temporary, and there will be miseries one after another in this world. Okay, and if you if you are catering to this world, you will keep coming back here. You will be stuck in the cycle of birth and death. So from highest planet of Brahmaji to the lowest planet, you will be not be able to free from the cycle of birth and death. You will just be circling here. But mam upetya tu kantya. But if you achieve me, O kantya, mam upetya, then punarjanmana vidyate. Then there will be no again, no repeat birth, no repeat death. Then you will be in eternal bliss, knowledge, and eternity, right? Satchidanand Swarup. So, but the devotees, they know this, and we know that we are here for this lifetime at least, right? Prabhupada said, in this lifetime, get perfect your life and go back to Godhead. But in this lifetime also, we want to have fun, right? We want to have some pleasure, we want to have some bliss. So devotees, their nature is not to be sad or morose or pander to this dukhalyam thing. We want to live in sukhalyam. Even in this material world, we want to be full of pleasure and anand, right? So how can one be full of pleasure and anand in this world? So whoever wants to be in Anand, because it's our root, it's our Swarup. Jiva Swarup is to be Anandamayo Bhyasat. Anandamayo Bhyasat means that we always want to be in Anand. Everybody is looking for pleasure. Even if you ask the person who's going to commit suicide, why are you committing suicide? Because I'm not feeling any pleasure. So I want to kill myself. So I'll find some pleasure, right? People are changing their job because of that. They're changing their, they're getting married to find pleasure. They're finding a boyfriend or girlfriend to get pleasure. They're going to school or colleges to get pleasure, finding a different city, moving to different cities to get pleasure. So we are seeking pleasure all the time. But if devotees understand that those pleasures are actually very, very temporary, they are just like scratching a itch. They won't really satisfy you for very long. Okay, they will again make you itch again. So that those pleasures are very, very temporary. They are just sense gratification. They don't keep you satiated for very long. So the devotees take to the lotus feet of Lord Ram, because he is the reservoir of all pleasure. So they take delight in the names, forms, qualities, pastimes, and in the glorifying Lord Ram, glorifying the associates of Lord Ram, and that is the true bliss in this material world. So while living in this material world, if we want to have any kind of feel that drop of that eternal bliss that we can find in Vaikuntha, in Golok, then it is to chant the names of Lord Hari. It is to take delight in the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Lord Hari. So that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to glorify Lord Ram. He's the reservoir of all bliss. Okay. So and actually in Vedas there comes this verse which tells you that great munis, great sages, paramhamsas, yogis, right? They already know this fact that sense gratification is very temporary, that we should not really indulge ourselves in this material world. है ना? इस दुनिया में तो रहो पर दुनिया के होके मत रहो, right? So they know this. So even those Paramhamsas who have given up all the pleasures of this world, they take pleasure in chanting the names of Lord Hari, in the names of Lord Ram, like Shivji, right? Shivji is completely renounced. He's not, he does not even wear, proper clothes. He's just wearing a tiger skin or something. He's, eating kandmul roots, right? Uncooked roots. That's what he eats, huh? His body is completely covered with dust and mud, right? So in this way he's completely renounced from this material world. Shivji is the greatest Vaishnava. Why? Because the greatest Vaishnavas know that actually the pleasure lies in the chanting of names of Lord Ram, right? So the verse says, Ramante yogino anante satyanande chid atmani iti rama padenasau param brahma vidiyate. The verse says that those Paramhamsas that take pleasure in the unlimited true pleasure of spiritual existence call that person Rama. Rama, that person which gives them the supreme pleasure. So they're not talking about us, because we take delight even in like ice cream or golgappa or gulab jamun, right? So those things give us pleasure too. So to say that we get pleasure in Lord Ram's names is not a very, very high achievement, right? The achievement is when these yogis, these paramhamsas, these transcendentalists who have given up everything and they take pleasure in Lord Ram's name, then imagine how much pleasureful that name, that thing might be, right? So we're not talking about small people like us who enjoy like a movie to give pleasure. Netflix pe dekhte hain aaj koi nayi movie and that gives us pleasure. No, this is paramhamsas that have given up everything. So this verse actually comes in Padma Puran, and this also comes in Chaitanya Charitamrit. It comes in the Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrit. So let's chant the names of Lord Ram. Let's delight in the qualities. I'll go over some qualities of Lord Ram, some names of Lord Ram. Let's see, hold on. Trying to. Okay, so now who knows this? Why does Lord descend? Yes, Navya. Why did he come? Well, he appeared today, right? This is his appearance day. Why did he come? Or why does Lord come? Can you tell us from Bhagavad Gita? Why does Lord come? Yes, Hari Bol. Athar, can you recite it? Do you know these ones? Yes? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Yes, 4th chapter, 4.7 and 4.8, right? He says, Paritranaya sadhunam, right? That the main reason I come, every yuga I come, is to give pleasure to my devotees, to give pleasure to the sadhus and sages, right? And in Lord Ram's pastimes, we see that how many people, how many associates he was giving pleasure to, right? Not only Lord Hanuman, but also Dashrath Maharaj, Kaushalya, his all three mothers actually he gave pleasure to. You know? He gave pleasure to Vashisht Muni, to his Guruma, to Vishwamitra, to all the sages of Dandakaranya forest, to Jatayu, to Vibhishan, right? Shabri, right? Am I forgetting anybody? So many more, but Ahilya, yes, yes, right? Agastya Rishi, who else? Sugriv, Bali ko tar diya, right? Huh? Hanumanji, yes, yes. So many people he gave delight to, he gave pleasure to when he came, right? So he says, Paritranaya sadhunam, Vinashaya cha dushkritam, and he killed so many demons, right? So can people name various demons that he killed or that he defeated? Ravan, yes. What else? In Ram Leela, yes. Tadka, yes. Who else?
Kumbhakaran.
Kumbhakaran, yes, yes, somebody said Kumbhakaran. I heard. Very bold, very nice. Ravan and Kumbhakaran were the principal demons that he came to kill, right? Especially Ravan, who was who had become Trilok Vijayi. He had defeated all the demigods. So all the demigods he had put in his employment. Indra Dev, Varun Dev, Agni Dev, Shani Dev, they were all, he had captured them all, and he was keeping them in Lanka to do menial jobs for him. अग्नि देव उसकी रसोई में आग जलाते थे, ठीक है. शनि देव को उन्होंने उल्टा करके कहीं पे लटकाया था, सो दैट ही कैन नॉट लुक टुवर्ड्स लंका, सो दैट लंका विल नेवर हैव एनी बैड डेज, बिकॉज शनि देव कैन नॉट लुक टुवर्ड्स लंका. एंड देन इंद्रदेव को रखा हुआ था पानी देने के लिए, पानी भरने के लिए. हाँ, वरुण देव फॉर सिमिलर tasks. So in this way, all these devtas were in his captivity because he had won over all of them. So they were really, really, and demigods are very great devotees of the Lord, right? So paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. What are the demons? Can anybody name? Who were other of Ravan's associates? You remember Khal and Dushan, right? Khal and Dushan that he killed. So many demons were infesting the forest of Dandakaranya. Marich, yes. Who else? Marich was trying to cheat Lord Ram, right? He was in the employ of Ravan, but he knew that he wanted to be killed at the hands of Lord Ram, so that at the last minute he can take the names of Lord Ram, get his darshan, and but yet he did not do his service. He did the service of Ravan, right, while getting killed. Okay, so yes, many demons he came to kill. So that was the incarnations of Lord. We know that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, but then so many incarnations come from him. Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that, right? Ete chamsha kalapam sa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Ridyanti Yuge Yuge. That in every yuga, Indrari Vyakulam Lokam, all the associates of Indra and other demigods become vyakul, or become in distress because of different demons tormenting them, right? Whether it's Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, Ravan and Kumkaran, right? So the Kali Yuga mein everybody is a demon. Everybody is practically a demon, right? We are not trying to please demigods at all. We are not doing any sacrifices. We are just taking from Mother Nature, keep taking and taking. Each and every jiva basically has Ravan sitting inside them with 10 heads full of anarthas, right? So each and everybody is a demon. So Lord Ram descends, or many incarnations of Krishna come, and these incarnations are like waves in the ocean. They keep coming. So many incarnations come. We think, okay, there is no incarnation right now, right? There is no Bhagwan right now. But actually, there are so many universes, and in each universe, Krishna's pastimes, Lord Ram's pastimes are manifesting and unmanifesting at all times. Some pastimes are visible to our eyes, they're appearing to us, and some pastimes are unmanifest to us. It is up to Krishna whether he wants to reveal those pastimes to us or not, right? So those incarnations keep coming one after another. So and even if we cannot see the manifest pastimes of the Lord creates his pastimes in such a way that he is the supreme director of that story. He creates a very beautiful, very intricate story which is full of humor, tragedy, romance, and fighting and everything. Think of Ramayana and Mahabharata, the great epics, right, of our Vedas. And then to different people, Krishna has revealed different type of epics. Like Abraham religion has different kind of stories all together with their own gospels, right? Muslim religion has their own pastimes of their Lord. So in this way, so many pastimes have been revealed to different communities of people all over the world at different time, place, and circumstances based on their understanding, right? But more importantly, he creates these pastimes so that they will be talked about for ages and ages to come, right? Like now, this happened in the beginning of Treta Yuga. After that, the whole Treta Yuga went by, the whole Dwapar Yuga went by, and about 5,000 years of Kali Yuga. And we are still talking about Lord Ram's pastimes, right? Not only on Ram Navmi, actually a few hundred years back, even Ramayana was enacted. Ram Leela hoti thi jagah jagah, her town mein, right? When people did not have TV, so they'll just discuss Ram Katha or Hari Katha over and over again, right? Everybody was well versed in the stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So these stories are made in such a way that no other story can ever trump it, This is the story to talk about. So we take delight in Lord's pastimes over and over again. And then he leaves his name. He leaves his name behind so that he imbues his name with so much potency that if we can just chant the name of the Lord, we can be in the presence of the Lord, right? He gives us scriptures, he gives us name, he gives us his pastimes, he gives us guru, he gives us basically his representatives, books, he gives us Tulsi Maharani, right? He gives us temple, which is nothing but home of the Lord. So many ways we can feel the presence of the Lord, not just during his manifest presence, but even when he is unmanifested his pastimes, when he's he's wrapped up his pastimes and left this material planet, we can still feel his presence. So name has very, very strong potency. You saw the beads that I gave Prabhuji, they had each manka had Ram Nam written on it. And Lord Ram's name's potency is so much that Shivji tells Parvati ji that one name of Lord Ram is equal to the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu or Sahasranam, Vishnu Sahasranam. So, and you know this verse, so please everybody chant with me. Shri Ram Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame
Rame Rame
Sahasranam Tattulям
Sahasranam Tattulyam
Shri Ram Nam Varanane.
Shri Ram Nam
Everybody
Varanane
together. Shri Ram Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tattulям Shri Ram Nam Varanane. Right? So the Lord Ram's name has so much potency. It reminds me of a couple of stories. I'll share at least one story with you. You may know this one. So you know Janak Maharaj, who's the mother of Janki, or mother of who's the father of Sita Devi, father of Janki Devi, right? Lord Ram's eternal consort. And you know that Janak Maharaj is Mahajan, one of the 12 Mahajans, right? When he left his body, he was going towards Vaikuntha, right? Towards Lord Ram's planet. He was going upwards. When he crossed the Yamlok, or the जिसको हम नर्क बोलते हैं या lower planet, when he crossed Yamlok, he could hear really bad ghastly cries of terror coming from inside the Yamlok. And Janak Maharaj was very disturbed. He's a devotee, so he's disturbed by the bad plight of other people. He got very compassionate. What is going on inside? They're torturing the jivas inside. These jivas that never chanted a name, that did all bad deeds and all sense gratification and criminal acts or sinful acts. They are being tortured inside. So he went inside and he asked one of the Yamdutas, please, can I have audience with Yamraj? Yamraj is another pure devotee of the Lord. He's another one of the 12 Mahajans. So we're talking about two Mahajans talking to each other. So he called Yamraj. And Yamraj, ji, what is going on inside? Why are these jiva in so much torture? There are painful cries coming out everywhere. Can I help them? I really want to help them somehow. Can I not rid them of here so they can go to Vaikuntha? He said, there is nothing, because they just need to take birth again and fix whatever wrongs they did. However, he said there is one upay, there is one solution to this problem. The solution is, you have chanted so many names of Lord Ram, huh? Can you give the results of one purely chanted name of Lord Ram? He said, that's all it will take? He said, yes, one purely chanted name of Lord Ram. एक शुद्ध नाम का आप इनको रिजल्ट दे दो. He said, okay, दिया. एक शुद्ध नाम का रिजल्ट दिया. अब इन्होंने बात खत्म भी नहीं की थी. Suddenly everybody disappeared. The whole Yamlok became empty. No more cries, एकदम quiet. No more cries, no more horrifying sounds or terrible sounds coming from inside. And that's all it took. One purely chanted name, one Shuddha Naam by a Shuddha devotee of the Lord. So imagine if we are, and this is indirect result of somebody's holy name, somebody who chanted a holy name. If we are ourselves chanting a Shuddha Naam, thinking of Lord Ram, wanting to please him directly, right? A Shuddha Naam, thinking of him, keeping Tulsi Maharani, keeping Lord Ram's Pratima in front of us, how much benefit that will give us. That's why in those 10 offenses we were reading, it is said that not to think that the glories of chanting Harinam is any imagination. It is not imaginary. We think it is imaginary because we don't see any visible results, tangible results in front of us. So we think, okay, these glories are imaginary. But actually, we are eternal beings. You know, we have committed so many sinful acts over and over again for many, many lifetimes. So all those reactions can be gone by purely chanting the names of Lord Hari, right? So we are not only chanting Lord Ram's name, we are chanting Lord Krishna's name and Hare. Hare, who's Radha Rani? Hara means Radha. So just like Krishna used to call out Radhe, Radhe, we are calling out Hare, Hare, right? So you're calling out so many pure names every day, 16 rounds, each round, it is more than 1,000 plus names. So that is the glories of chanting Harinam. Now, the see how beautifully Krishna's pastimes are, that when he came as Krishna, his pastimes were so like charming and naughty and so playful, and he's having Ras Leela with the gopis and all this Sakhya Bhav with the gopas and with Arjuna, with Pandavas, he was in so much Sakhya Bhav. Whereas if you look at the Leela of Lord Ram, right? Lord Ram is considered an ideal, perfect gentleman. Such a contrast, right? Krishna is like Makhan Chor, he's stealing butter, he's troubling Yashoda Maya, and he's torturing all these gopis, right? Whereas Lord Ram is completely opposite. He's like a perfect, ideal gentleman, right? इसलिए उनकी लीलास को बोलते हैं कि he's मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम. So we can learn from the character of Lord Ram. From Krishna, we should not learn from his character. We should not try to become a thief and लोगों के कपड़े चुराना या माखन चुराना या फिर like he's a ranchor, right? His leelas are inconceivable. His leelas are very, very difficult to understand. Krishna comes as original person in his maximum opulences. But when Lord Ram comes, he comes to attract the heart of common people. He comes as like an ideal gentleman that people will aspire to become. People will aspire to become that kind of son to their father, to their mother, that kind of shishya to their guru, to Vishishta Muni, like how he was, to Vishwamitra, how he was. They want to become a perfect brother like him, right? A perfect husband like him, right? They want to become a perfect friend like him, right? So he's a perfect gentleman. And there are given 16 primary qualities of Lord Ram. Okay, let me see. I had a slide I can show you. If not, I will at least read them. Okay, you see this picture? नहीं, अभी नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay. So these are, I'll show you, this shows the 16 primary qualities of Lord Ram. Why doesn't it show? It shows on there. So I'll just recite these qualities. So the 16 qualities, he's Dharmagya. Dharmagya means knower of Dharma, knower of the true religion. He is most powerful, Veervan. Kritagnya means he is very, very grateful, right? To everybody, he was very, very grateful, right? Think of how he did the last rites of Jatayu. He was so grateful that Jatayu, even though he was a vulture, he's an old bird, but he laid his life in saving Mother Sita. So he was so grateful to him that he did his last rites, right? Even though Lord Ram was feeling so much separation from Mother Sita, but he took time to do that. Satyavakya, he's always truthful, okay? He's Dridvrata, he is very firm in his, very firm or very determined, Dridvrata. Charitrena means he follows the Vedic customs, the rituals, the regulations given in the Vedic injunctions, right? Sarva Bhuteshu Hita, he is always looking for the well-wisher, he is the well-wisher of all living entities. Vidwan, meaning a very knowledgeable person. Samartha means very, very skillful. He's, if you see, Huh? Did I don't know why it doesn't. Then he's Jita Krodho, meaning who has mastered his anger. Priyadarshana, someone who's extremely handsome to look at. Gunvan, very, very virtuous, very, very like full of integrity and auspicious qualities. Gunvan. Bibyati Devascha, he's feared by even Devas. And some other place it says that he gives fearlessness to the demigods. So both ways it goes. Okay, now very, very important. Anusuyaka. Anusuyaka means non-jealous, non-envious. Very, very important because envy is one quality that is very difficult to overcome. I think I mentioned everything. Yeah. So these are the 16 primary qualities of Lord Ram. And you know, so Lord Ram is called Maryada Purushottam, Krishna is called Leela Purushottam, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Audarya Purushottam. His Leela is Audarya Leela, or Karuna Purushottam, Prem Purushottam, meaning he freely distributes the bhakti, Hari Bhakti, that even Krishna and Lord Ram could not do. So that is God Leela is Audarya Leela. Okay, so those were the qualities. Now we are saying that we want to become devotee of Lord Ram. We want to become very dear to Lord Ram, right? So who can tell me what material qualifications does one need to become a devotee of Lord Ram or to please Lord Ram, to become a devotee of Lord Ram? Who says you have to be extremely beautiful? No. Extremely beautiful? No. Very, very wealthy? No. No takers. You have to be very, very rich, or not rich, very, very famous. Very famous. You have to be very educated at least. Come on. Shouldn't you be at least very, very educated to become a devotee of Lord Ram? Huh? No. Okay, then maybe you should at least be a human. At least be a human. No.
Lord Ram gives pleasure to any creatures.
You're disagreeing with everything I'm saying. Okay. Okay, what else? Should you have at least a big house?
No.
No. Okay. Should you at least be a Brahman?
No.
Somebody's saying yes. Okay. So who can give me, each person can give a different name of a devotee of Lord Ram that was not beautiful, not a human, not a Brahman, not very rich, did not have a big house, not educated. Huh? Okay, let's start with Avni. Shabri. Okay. Yes, Navya?
Eravat. No.
Eravat. Okay.
You mean Jatayu?
Jatayu. Okay, Jatayu. Okay. Yes, Jatayu. He's a bird, huh? He did not have any possessions, nothing other than Lord Ram's pure devotional service.
Ketev Guha.
Huh? Guha. So Guha is the Nishad Raj.
Nishad.
Hanumanji. Yes, Hanumanji. A monkey, huh?
Monkey, squirrel.
A squirrel. Okay.
Vibhishan, who is a demon.
Vibhishan, who's a demon.
Yes.
A demon. Very, very low birth. Huh? Very, very low birth, surrounded by all the demons. Sugriv, yes. Sugriv, another Vanar who was given to all kinds of sense gratification, like a monkey, basically. Okay, what else?
Vidur.
By
Ahilya, who was a stone.
Vidur.
Not even a human. She had become a stone. What else? Huh? Who was so
Vidur.
sinful that they were even killing humans? Valmiki, Ratnakar, right? Ratnakar Daku, who became Valmiki, who went on to write
I'm
Ramayana.
looking for this name for so many days. Ratnakar, I forgot Ratnakar.
Okay, from online, I'm sorry if I'm neglecting. Anybody wants to say anything? Any names come to mind? Any names of devotees of Lord? What about
Vidur.
huh? Say that again. Nirmala Mataji is saying something. Okay. Mataji, I can't hear
Vidur
you, but
Maharaj. Vidur Maharaj.
Vidur, yes, Vidur, devotee of Lord Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Talking about devotees of Lord Ram that are not very materially qualified. So we can quote, Dashrath Maharaj, but they are very, very qualified, right? In material terms, he's a king, he's a possessor of all qualities, very powerful, very strong. So other than those people we were quoting, people that have no material qualification, जो दुनिया की नजरों में they are like very low birth. None of us want a birth like that, huh?
Mataji, Nishad
Prabhuji
Raj
said Nishad Raj, who was Guha, and also Kevat, he said. So I don't know if you guys realize, he said Kevat also. Kevat, the boatman who
Yeah,
gave
Kevat.
ride for him to cross Ganga, right? जाना था गंगा पार प्रभु केवट की नाव चढ़े, right? That Kevat. So yes, all these devotees, you don't need any material qualification. All you need is just pure love for Lord Ram. And this is the beauty of of Ramayana. Ramayana is full of service attitude of all devotees. You see unconditional love, sacrifice, so much sacrifice. Think of Bharat, so much sacrifice, right? Throughout his life, he had this guilt that because of him, Lord Ram, Mother Sita, Lakshman had to leave Ayodhya, right? He held them. He was Lord Ram is his Bhagwan, and his Bhagwan had to leave Ayodhya. Next day was his coronation. He had to live with the guilt that my father did not want me to do his last rites. He said, "कुछ भी करना, लेकिन भरत को मेरी चिता को हाथ मत लगाने देना." That's how Dashrath Maharaj left the body, huh? And all the people of Ayodhya are thinking, oh, this mother and son plotted something, huh? And drove Lord Ram away, our dearest Lord Ram away, huh? They wanted to, all the Ayodhya Vasis followed Lord Ram as far as they could follow him in during his exile, when he started for his exile. That kind of guilt Bharat Maharaj lived with. Bharat stands for somebody who has the bhar of this guilt on him, right? So much sacrifice. So Bharat not only conducted the whole, rule of Ayodhya, he did it from outside Ayodhya. He said, I will not live inside Ayodhya. I will live outside. I will also have matted hair locks. I will also wear tree bark. And if Lord Ram is sleeping on the zameen, I'll sleep below zameen. उन्होंने जमीन के नीचे खोद के वो उसमें सोते थे कि उससे भी उनके नीचे लेवल पे सोऊंगा मैं, हाँ? He even left his wife. He did not, he was staying in a simple hut outside of Ayodhya. And look at Lakshman, so much sacrifice. Look at Mother Sita. They did not have to leave Ayodhya. They could have lived in all kind of opulences. Yes, Navya.
Lakshman didn't sleep for 14 years.
Yes, Lakshman did not sleep for 14 years. He did not even eat for 14 years. And Lord Ram did not even know that Lakshman is not eating for 14 years. So much sacrifice. Then think of Jatayu, right? How he sacrificed his life. Think of Vibhishan. He could just have stayed in the employment of Ravan and helped Ravan. But even surrounded by all the demons, he was given to pure devotional service of the Lord and chanting the names of Lord Ram. One time, Ravan caught him chanting Ram, Ram. Oh, he came to visit Vibhishan. And in Vibhishan's home, there is Ram written everywhere. Everywhere, on all walls, Ram was written. And Ravan got very upset. What are you doing? You're chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. Vibhishan said, Vibhishan and they had this kind of fearful relationship. So Vibhishan did not want to upset Ravan. He wanted to, pacify his brother. So this is not Ram. Ravan stands for Ra plus Ma. Ra means Ravan, Ma means Mandodri. Since I don't want to chant Ravan Mandodri, I'm chanting Ram Ram. In fact, all the people of Lanka, good idea, all the people of Lanka should chant Ram from now, because this is both of your names. Ravan said, yes, I will have Ram written everywhere in Lanka and I will have everybody chant Ram. Good idea, Vibhishan. So in this way, he had all the Lanka Vasis chant Ram Ram, right? And then Hanumanji, right? So much pure, unconditional love that he's still glorified. If anyone has to reach Lord Ram, we chant the names of, we try to please Hanumanji, right? He's the perfect example of Das, 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 and Das, right?
Shatrughan that way also.
Shatrughan
is not mentioned much, but he became the Das of Bharat.
Yes.
Like Bharat is Dasanu Das and he again Dasanu Das.
Yes.
Sumitra Mata. This all, like I heard all this recently on that.
Yes. Perfect. Yes,
so much
Prabhuji.
Sacrifice. Why Sumitra had to sacrifice his son, like her son. But they said, no, jaiye. साथ में जाइए.
Right. It is said that Shatrughn's position is actually even better than Bharatji and Lakshman because they were directly serving the Lord. But Shatrughn is just facilitating Bharat. So he is in the perfect mood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us, right? Das, 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 and das. That we don't have to be direct servant of the Lord, we have to be servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, right? And who was Bharat Maharaj serving? He was serving the Charan Paduka of Lord Ram. And who's Shatrughan serving? Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj serving the Charan Paduka of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram is not even there, and they're all running the kingdom perfectly, keeping it very well preserved for when Lord Ram and Mother Sita will return, right? So in this way, Ramayana is full of pure, unconditional love of so many devotees, so much tolerance, so much patience. Again, same thing that Mahaprabhu taught, so much tolerance and patience of all the devotees, all the eternal associates of the Lord, right? Dashrath Maharaj, so much sacrifice, right? Everybody that we can think of. Now, Ramayana, this story, whenever this was recited, like long after when Love Kush came to Ayodhya and they would recite, Lord Ram would hear it very attentively, right? And to him, this story is called Ramayan, meaning this is the story of Rama. This is the story of Rama. Who is Rama? Mother Sita. That this is the story of Mother Sita. Whereas for Mother Sita, this is Ramayan. This is story of Ram. And for Ram, this is Ramayan. So you can say it either which way. This is the story of both of them. And there comes a very, very beautiful verse in Niti Shastra that tells us what time of the day we should read Ramayan. Okay, listen to this very carefully. प्राताद्यूत प्रसंगेन मध्याह्ने स्त्री प्रसंगता रात्रौ चोर प्रसंगेन कालौ गच्छति धीमता. So this verse says Pratadyut prasangena. In the morning, talk about gambling match. Talk about the dyut prasang. Okay, Pratadyut prasangena. Madhyane means midday or afternoon. Stri prasangata. Talk about women. Talk about stri. Ratrau chor prasangena. In the night, talk about chor prasang or about the thief. Kalau gachati dhimata. And in this way, spend your time. So 3 things we have been told to talk about. Dyut prasang or gambling match comes in which epic of our Mahabharata. And in Mahabharata, the best thing to read is the Bhagavad Gita. So Prata Dyut Prasangena. In the morning, because somebody can say, what are they telling us? They're telling us to talk about gambling match, about women, and about thieves. But no, in the morning, read Bhagavad Gita, talk about Dyut Prasang. Midday, Stri Prasangata. Stri Prasang, Ramayan is the Stri Prasang for Lord Ram. This is the story of Mother Sita. This is the story of Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kekai, right? This is the story of where there are good women and corrupted women, right? There is Shrupnakha, there is Tadaka, there is Sursa, there is Lankini, there is Mantra, right? All kind of women, right? And that's Stri Prasang. Talk about that in the midday, right? So Madhyane Stri Prasangata, Shabri, right? So many women. Ratrau chor prasangena, and in the evening read about chor. And where is the pastimes of a chor?
Krishna.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So in the night, in the evening read Srimad Bhagavatam. So subah read karo Bhagavad Gita, din mein read karo Ramayan, raat mein read karo Srimad Bhagavatam. And this way spend your time, and that time is the most beneficial. Yes, Navya?
In the morning, we do Bhagavatam class on Sundays. In the evening, every day we read Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes. Yes.
Gita class in morning.
In the morning, okay, yes, we should read Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavat Sevya, right? Every evening we should do Nityam Bhagavat Sevya. So Ramayan, it is said, it acts on 3 levels, okay? One level is the level of entertainment where we are just hearing stories. Okay, हनुमान जी ने ऐसे जंप लगाई, चले गए, इसको डीमन को मार दिया रास्ते में, वहां पे पहुंच के उसको मार दिया, फिर लंका में आग लगा दी. राइट, वी आर हियरिंग इन अ वेरी एंटरटेनमेंट काइंड ऑफ वे, जैसे रामलीला करते हैं लोग. राइट, so that is one level, entertainment, just hearing. The second level where Ramayana acts on our consciousness is on the level of our mind. Okay, when we not only hear the story, but we hear the philosophical significance of that story. For example, that same jump of Hanumanji to cross that 100 yojan of samudra, of sea, can be discussed in a very philosophical way, that each demon that came on his way, right, what each demon represented. Right, for example, that demon who caught hold of his shadow, right, she represents the envy, right, and he killed her because envy needs to be killed. There is no cure for envy, it just needs to be killed. Then there was a demon who opened her mouth very big and Hanumanji entered into her mouth. That demon represents competition, meaning when somebody is trying to compete with you, you should not try to become bigger than them. Sometimes you should just assume a humble position and give in to them, and sometimes that helps. So he entered into his mouth, right? So in this way, if we understand the philosophy of each story, then each story will enrich our mind, enrich our consciousness, and it will go beyond entertainment. It will go to the level of enrichment. Okay, then it will enrich our lives because we are learning a lesson from it. So this is still, enrichment is still on the level of mind and intelligence. Now, if we really imbibe this in our heart and soul, right, and if this invokes the devotional service, the love towards Lord, right, then that goes even beyond enrichment and we start applying it in our lives. It becomes enlightenment, so that it takes us towards self-realization. So अगर हम बिल्कुल superficial रहे, so it will just be on the level of entertainment. We have to go beyond entertainment. That is what, Prabhupada's mood was, that this is not, the philosophy is not just for entertainment. Yes, entertainment helps, but it will not make a very deep impact. For us to get deep impact from Ramayana, we should understand the story, why this thing was done that particular way. And then what is the lesson for us to learn, apply it in our life, and invoke love for the Lord. Invoke love so that we feel like chanting Lord's names. We feel like singing his glories. We feel like doing his kirtan. Aisa impact hona chahiye of the stories. So that is taking into the heart, the level of enlightenment. So that is the level of, Ramayana. So whoever has not read, any of the kids, they have to start reading Ramayana now, okay? Now, I will tell you a few things. Before that, I just wanted to read a few verses of Ram Raksha Stotra, and then I'll tell you last few things, and we will stop after that. Let's. I don't think I can pull them up much. We'll just. I'll just chant the verses. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः. श्रीराम राम रघुनंदन राम राम, श्रीराम राम भरताग्रज राम राम, श्रीराम राम रणकर्कश राम राम, श्रीरामचंद्र शरणं भव राम राम. श्रीरामचंद्र चरणौ मनसा स्मरामि, श्रीरामचंद्र चरणौ वचसा गृह्णामि, श्रीरामचंद्र चरणौ शिरसा नमामि, श्रीरामचंद्र चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. So let me read the meaning of these three. The first one: I salute to Ram, beloved Ram, moon-like peaceful Ram, to the Lord of Raghusayan, Lord or husband of Sita. Ram, who is the delight of the Raghus, Ram, who is the elder brother of Bharat, Ram, who is tormentor of his enemies, please come under refuge of God Ram. I remember the feet of Sri Ramchandra in my mind. I praise the feet of Sri Ramchandra by my speech. I salute the feet of Sri Ramchandra by bowing down my head. I take refuge on the feet of Sri Ramchandra by bowing myself down. The next three verses. मद्रामो मत्पिता रामचन्द्र स्वामी रामो मत्सखा रामचन्द्र सर्वस्वं मयि रामचन्द्रो दयालु न अन्यं जाने नैव जाने न जाने लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं करुण्यारूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये. Okay, these two verses says, Mother is Ram, my father is Ramachandra, Lord is Ram, my dearest friend is Ramchandra. My everything is merciful Ramchandra. I know of no other like him. I really don't. He is the cynosure of eyes of all people. He is courageous in war. This is his qualities now. Lotus-eyed, Lord of the Raghu race. He is personification of compassion. Surrender to that Lord Sri Ram. So, and then, talking about compassion of Lord Ram, I believe we have talked about this story before that Ramchandra, when he was, when they were in exile and he was walking, he would walk bare feet, right? They had bare minimum possessions. He was walking bare feet.
No, because the Bharat took the kharav. They only had one pair of kharav.
नहीं प्रभु जी ऐसे नहीं. So Bharat brought the khadao with him. He brought like golden chappal कि मैं ये चप्पल डाल के उनको लेके जाऊंगा वापस. When he did not agree, he said just put these in your feet and then give them to me back. And then he put them on his head and took them. वो उनकी नहीं थी, वो तो नंगे पैर ही.
So I heard this from Gaurang Darshan Das. He said this. I'm not making that.
नहीं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा है कि he took the खड़ाऊ with him. He took like golden वाली सुंदर सी खड़ाऊ to put in his feet. And then when Lord Ram refused to come with him, he said, please just put your feet. And then he took them on his head कि आपका वो हो गया प्रसाद. And then he took them. But what would happen is when he would walk in the jungle, all these little pebbles and thorns will get stuck to his feet. And his feet will bleed really bad, right? अगर आप नंगे पैर जा रहे हो जंगल में. So one night, Lakshman ji tried to clean his feet. And he said, "Nahi, Lakshman, rehne do, don't do anything." So Lakshman would, he would not sleep. He would just press the feet of Lord Ram or legs of Lord Ram, and he would wanted to clean his feet. So उन्होंने उसको मना कर दिया. Then next time, Lakshman ji told Mother Sita, his feet are bleeding so much, I cannot see them like this. His lotus feet that everybody wants to take shelter of, they're bleeding so bad. Please, can you clean them? Can you put some, ointment and some herbs on it? But he did not let Mother Sita also clean those feet. He said, no, please don't do anything. So they asked him, why are you not letting us clean your feet, not get rid of the pebbles and the thorns? He said, because I have promised that whoever takes shelter of my feet even once, I will not shed them away. I will not let them go anywhere. They are there to stay. Anybody who takes shelter of my feet will stay at my feet. So I cannot turn away these pebbles and thorns. They have taken shelter of my feet. So he said very beautifully, he says, Sakrideva prapanno yastava smiti cha yachate. Sakrid is a very common word which is said in Vedas very, very many times. Sakrid matlab even once. Jैसे हम बोलते हैं even once somebody who chants the name of Lord Ram. Sakrid word will come many times, you will see. Sakrideva prapanno yas. Tav asmi, tav asmiti cha yachate. That Tav asmi means I am yours. That, oh Lord, whoever begs to me even once that I am yours. Dadami, abhyam dadati tasmai, dadami tasmai. Hold on, I'm forgetting the verse. Sakrideva prapanno yastavasmiti cha yachate abhyam sarvada tasmai dadami etad vratam mama. Abhyam sarvada tasmai. I will give them fearlessness, abhyam, forever. Dadami etad vratam mama. This is my vow that I give them fearlessness or abhay to people who will take shelter of my feet, who will say even once that Lord Ram, I am yours. Okay, even once. So let's all chant at least 3 times. Lord Ram, I am yours. Lord Ram, I am yours. Lord Ram, I am yours. I am yours. So whoever says that even once, Lord Ram says that I will give you fearlessness. So in this material world where this is such a fearful condition, Lord Ram says, I will give you the fearlessness. So that is his compassion, right? His compassion you also see when Vibhishan came, right? Vibhishan came to surrender to Lord Ram, and all the monkeys, they were doubting Vibhishan's intention. They were saying, we don't know if this guy is in the allegiance with Ravan still, and if he's their spy, and he just come to spy on behalf of Lanka. Huh? So we cannot trust him. We should kill him immediately. He's a demon. Demons are very, they're in low modes. They're in mode of ignorance. They're very much given to sense gratification. He's also a demon. He's he's Ravan's brother. Kill him. That's what Sugriv said. But Hanumanji said, and Lord Ram would take everybody's counsel. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं हूँ chief, तो I am going to do my own thing. He'd take everybody's counsel. So he asked Hanuman, what do you think? Hanuman said, I think we should give him a chance. I think he means well. I think he is your devotee. And Lord Ram is a Paramatma in everybody's heart, so he knew Vibhishan is my pure devotee, right? He said, even before you said that, if this Vibhishan, he takes my shelter, he takes my sharan, I'll give him Lanka. I will give him Lanka. So all the Vanars were very amazed. You will give Lanka to Vibhishan, but Ravan is ruling Lanka. What if next time Ravan comes and take your shelter? Will you give him something too? He said, yes, if Ravan, so to Vibhishan I will give Lanka, and if Ravan comes and take my shelter, I will give him Ayodhya. I will give him Ayodhya. But they said, but Bharat is ruling Ayodhya. Where would he go? He said, to Bharat, I will give Vaikunthas. So they said, they were very bewildered. You will give Vaikunthas to Bharat, but you rule Vaikunthas. Where would you go? He said, I don't need to go anywhere. I live inside the heart of my devotees. That's where I need to live. So this is the compassion of Lord Ram, right? So he said that Naham tishtami vaikunte yoginam hrideshu va yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tishtami narada. That wherever my devotees sing with their heart, that's where I live. I live in the heart of my devotees. Naham tishtami vaikunte. ना मैं वैकुंठा में रहता हूँ, योगी नाम हृदयेषु वा. मैं योगीज के हृदय में भी नहीं रहता. कितनी भी तपस्या कर लो, austerities कर लो, I don't care to live there. I live where my devotees sing my praises and my glories. So that is the compassion of Lord Ram. So he's so compassionate, so merciful, right? And I wanted to show you a couple. If I have slides for this, but let me tell you a little contrast between Lanka and Ayodhya. Okay, let's talk about that. So who was ruling Ayodhya? Who is the king of Ayodhya? Dashrath Maharaj, right? Dashrath literally translates into 10 chariots, right? Somebody who can, in war, he can drive chariots in 10 different directions. He can control enemies, he can fire in 10 different directions, he can drive chariot. In philosophical terms, being able to drive 10 chariots in 10 different directions means somebody who is the controller of their 10 senses, right? 5 working senses and 5 knowledge acquiring senses. 5 ज्ञान इंद्रियां, 5 कर्म इंद्रियां के जो controller हैं, right? That person is called Dashrath, somebody who has controlled their 10 senses. So Dashrath Maharaj, very, very self-controlled, very, very sense-controlled, his mind is controlled. That kind of person is ruling Ayodhya. Very, very clean heart, right? Pure devotee of the Lord, no anarthas in his heart. He's not given to sense gratification. That is the place where Lord Ram appeared, right? In Ayodhya. Ayodhya means Ayodhya, meaning where there is no yuddh. So in the consciousness of people in Ayodhya, like Dashrath Maharaj, there is no yuddh. There is no fighting, there is no conflict. Not like our consciousness, right? Very polluted. Ye karun, wo karun. In 10 different directions, we are lost, right? Whereas Dashrath Maharaj is controlling 10 different directions, 10 different senses, very, very self-controlled. There is no yuddh, no conflict. All the time, peace, right? That is the consciousness of people of Ayodhya. Very, very high level of consciousness. So Lord Ram appears to somebody who has controlled their senses and mind like this. So that their consciousness is like that of Ayodhya. Whereas if you look at Ravan, What is the quality of Ravan? He has 10 heads. Dashmukha, right? He's Dashamukha. Dashamukha means 10 heads. So 10 heads means with 10 different heads, he's enjoying sense gratification. He's utni zyada, he's looking at women with lusty desires, right? He had so many apsaras in his employ, he had captured them to enjoy them, right? He had with 10 different heads, he's saying bad things, he's blaspheming the devotees, he's trying to enjoy different types of foods and liquors and whatnot, right? So he's with 10 different heads, he's just given to complete sense gratification. So he was always envious, full of anarthas, he's always angry, always full of arrogance and proud, always wants to be at the top, right? Always wants to be the ruler, Trilok Vijay Ravan, है ना? ये वनवासी मुझे क्या हराएंगे, right? So he always thought he was the topmost. When he heard about actually power of Vali, he actually even went there to defeat Vali. And what was the boon of Vali? किसी को पता है? Anybody knows?
Half the strength of the opponents.
हाँ, जो उसके सामने आएगा फाइट करने, that person will lose 50% of their strength and Bali will gain it, right? So रावण को पता था ये. रावण ने क्या किया? He attacked him from the side, पीछे से. उस time Vali was about to start his Gayatri. Now Vali is a monkey. He cannot sit in one place and do Gayatri. So he always used to jump from mountain to mountain and cross over the rivers, jump over the rivers to do Gayatri and oceans, huh? So उसने उसकी पूंछ पकड़ी थी अभी रावण ने, and Vali took off. So Vali went jumping here and there, and Ravan is now flying on his उसकी tail पे, right? And he's getting hit कभी इस mountain पे, कभी उस mountain पे. हाँ, different people. Somebody says that उसने उसको अपनी बगल में दबोच लिया था, and then he was flying like this. Some people say he was hold of the tail. In this way, he's flying everywhere, huh? Getting hit by different mountains and trees, and उसकी बहुत देर लगी उसकी गायत्री finish होने में. Finally, when the गायत्री finished, Ravan was completely black and blue, completely beaten up. So उसने कहा, वाली महाराज अब तो छोड़ दो. तो वाली ने कहा, ये मच्छर कौन लगा हुआ है मेरे साथ? इतनी देर से ये कौन चिपका हुआ है? And he saw this is our Dashanan, Dashmukh Ravan. So he said, कि भाई रावण क्या चाहिए तुमको? Now he had come to defeat him. He said कि I've heard so much of you. I just want to be friends with you. So please let's both cooperate with each other and become best friends. So they did a whole fire sacrifice and everything. Treta Yuga fire sacrifice is the way to do things, right? So even to solidify their friendship, they did fire sacrifice and became best friends. We'll always help each other in war. So this is the mentality of envious people. They always want to top each other, right? It can never be really true friendship. This is always just a friendship of exploitation, right? Just exploiting. So that is Dashmukh. And to that person, Lord Ram will forcibly enter and kill those kind of demons. Like somebody was asking what demon we have. We have this Ravan like Dashanan like personality. So we should all pray very sincerely that I am full of anarthas like Ravan. I'm full of demonic qualities like Ravan. So please enter into my heart like you entered Ayodhya. You entered Lanka and kill this Ravan like mentality of mine, right? So this is the difference between Ayodhya and Lanka. It is also said that in Ayodhya, the culture of Sanskriti is followed, whereas in Lanka, the culture of Vikriti is followed. Okay, Sanskriti is a very high culture. Sanskriti is a culture of sacrifice. It is a culture of giving. It is said in Ayodhya, you give, and forgive. You don't care about getting anything back. Even when somebody does not ask you for help, you still give help. Nobody commits mistakes there. There was no locks on the doors. Houses were open for each other to enter. There was no charity or donations needed because nobody will see anybody else poor. They will just give to that other person, right? So that was not even charity. It was just everybody sharing equally, right? So there is the culture, the ideal character, very, very high consciousness of Ayodhya people. They're full of gratitude, very grateful. Like Mother Sita, when they were going to be coronated after the 14 year of exile, बहुत सारा रंग गुलाल उड़ रहा था हवा में. Suddenly she saw a red color ka gulal fly and she became very emotional. She started crying. Lord Ram said, why are you crying? This is such a happy occasion. After so many hardships, we have got the throne now. Our demons are dead and, we are happy. So she said, you know, this red color reminded me of Father Jatayu. How he, you know, when Ravan hit him, his wing went flying and the red color of his blood went spraying in the air. And that's all I remember from him. He fell down after that, and because they were on that apna Pushpak Viman. And all I remember is this big red spray of blood in the air when Father Jatayu fell. And this red spray of color just reminded me of Jatayu. So she was, you know, so grateful even in that moment of her, you know, उनका सबका top का moment है. Even then she's remembering, she's grateful to this old vulture, right, who lost his life in saving her. So that is the character of, you know, Ayodhya people, full of gratitude. They give credit to others for their own success. जबकि डिमोनिक पर्सनालिटी क्या है कि कुछ भी हो अपने किसी को क्रेडिट नहीं देना, राइट, नेवर शेयरिंग एनीथिंग विद अदर्स, राइट. दैट वाज द मेंटालिटी ऑफ लंका पीपल, विकृति. दे आर ऑलवेज एक्सप्लॉइटिंग अदर्स. व्हाट कैन आई गेट फ्रॉम अदर्स, राइट, हाउ टू एक्सप्लॉइट अदर्स, हाउ टू मेक यूज ऑफ अदर्स. जब तक किसी से फायदा मिल रहा है तब तक आई हैव रिलेशनशिप विद देम, बट अगर फायदा नहीं मिल रहा देन देयर इज नो रिलेशनशिप. सो गेटिंग 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 एंड देन फॉरगेटिंग, that was the mentality of, that is a vikriti mentality, very very low consciousness.
समोर द लाइट बंद करना.
So this is, you know, for example, Vibhishan and Ravan, right, when Ravan realized finally that Vibhishan is not going to help him, he just kicked him out of his kingdom, है ना, निकाल दिया. So and they keep making mistakes over and over. Everything is stolen there. Like Ravan, everything was he had stolen everything from demigods. And so many people warned him. So many people warned him, ki return Mother Sita to Lord Ram. This will not turn out good for you. But that is the mentality of low consciousness people. No matter how many times you're told, they'll keep making mistakes, right? So forget about learning from other people's instructions or words. They will not learn even from their own mistakes. अपने आप को convince कर लेंगे कि हो सकता है पहले तो गलती हो गई, let me try again. Can anybody tell me who all warned Ravan to return Mother Sita? Mandodari, his own wife, said कि Mother Sita को Lord Ram को वापस कर दो. Vibhishan, who else? Kumbkaran, who else? Yes.
His father or grandfather, I think.
Yes, his mother's father. है ना? नहीं, sorry. His nana, yes. Who else?
Even I think
Mandodari's dad also, okay. Who else? हाँ, जो राम जी के अनुयायी थे, हनुमान जी, अंगद, they all said, right? Who else? Lord Shiva, उनके रावण के आराध्य भगवान. Ravan had cut his head so many times to please Lord Shiva. That Lord Shiva who had given him the benedictions, right? That Lord Shiva told him, he was praying to Lord Shiva that, you know, help me in this fight against Lord Ram. He said, Ram is my Aradhya Bhagwan. You have taken panga from wrong person. You return Mother Sita to him. I'm not going to help you in this war, right? So even Lord Shiva, his own Aradhya Bhagwan. And look at the ungrateful Ravan. He tried to steal Mother Parvati from Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva came to give him benedictions, he said, I want your wife. Mother Parvati, who's like his Guru Ma, his Devi, his Aradhya Devi, he tried to steal her. And actually they fooled him and they told him that Mandodari is actually Parvati. So he always lived with Mandodari thinking this is Parvati I'm living with, right? So such an ungrateful person, so completely low consciousness. But yes, so many people warned him. I think we've named everybody. I cannot think of who else. But yeah, so many people. Yes, all the demons, yes. Yeah, the ones who had taken compassion towards Mother Sita, they all warned. So, and he did not learn from his mistakes. He saw that one Vanar from Lord Ram's army came and set Lanka on fire. Ek Hanumanji. And Hanumanji said, I am one small Vanar of Lord Ram's army. मैं एक छोटा सा monkey हूँ इस पूरी army का जिसमें इतने monkeys थे I cannot even count. Valmiki ji gives the full maths in Ramayana of how many monkeys were there. You cannot even count them. Millions and millions of monkeys. And I am one small monkey. मैं एक तुच्छ वानर हूँ उस सेना का और एक तुच्छ वानर ने तुम्हारी लंका की आग लगा दी. So, and then Angad came. Angad said, you cannot even move my foot. मेरा एक पैर हिला के दिखा दो. So he said, okay, my son will do it. Indrajit could not move it. So then he said, okay, I'll make it easy for you. I'll just put a toe down. Then he just put a toe down. And Ravan could not even move a toe of Angad. And then Angad, being a monkey, he climbed on Ravan's head and urinated on him. He's a monkey. So Lord Ram asked him, why did you urinate on him? He said, I'm a monkey. I can do whatever I want. So another monkey comes and does this to Ravan, and Ravan still doesn't learn. He still wants to take panga from Lord Ram. And Lord Ram, when he met Ravan for the first time in war, you know what Lord Ram did? Look at the great character of Lord Ram. He fired an arrow of flowers at the feet of Ravan to start the fight, because this is Brahman in front of me, right? ये Brahman है, मैं क्षत्रिय हूँ, तो मुझे Brahman की permission लेनी चाहिए. I should pay my respects. He paid respects to Ravan by firing an arrow of flowers at his feet. So look at the difference in the consciousness of Ayodhya and Lanka. And in Kishkinda, it is said that the consciousness is intermediary. It sometimes switches between Sanskriti, sometimes it's Vikriti. So it is called Prakriti, which is mostly the consciousness of us, like of normal jivas. Sometimes we are in very much mode of goodness. We want to chant the names, we want to read. Sometimes we are very, very, low demonic consciousness. Sometimes we are very selfish. Sometimes we want to do things for others. We fluctuate, right? We have to be reminded. We have to be reminded many, many times. Like Sugriv had to be reminded. So Lord Ram helped Sugriv so much. And then he said, for 4 months of Chaturmas, it's going to rain a lot. So my monkeys will not be able to search for Mother Sita at this time. So let's take a break for 4 months. And after 4 months, we'll get together again. But in those 4 months, he forgot about helping Lord Ram. And Lord Ram killed Wali for him and he still forgot. And he said, and Lakshmanji had to come drag Sugriv out of his palace, that you have to come help Lord Ram, right? So we have to be reminded, we are like this, right? Sugriv-like mentality. So we think we are good friends of Lord Ram, but when the time comes, we forget, right? We have to be reminded, chant karo, read karo, Ram ka naam lo, Bhagwan ka naam lo, right? So that is the mentality of Kishkinda. So they do something for the others, their mentality is tit for tat or quid pro quo. Quid pro quo bolte na, कि you do something for me, I'll do something for me, right? Like that. But we have to elevate our consciousness to that of Ayodhya, right? Actually, another very small thing I'll share. Did you guys know that Ravan even went to Bali Maharaj? Now, I'm not talking about Bali. Bali Maharaj was the king of demons, right? Bali Maharaj rule kar rahe the. He went to Bali Maharaj that, you are also a demon. You helped me in winning over Lord Ram. And Bali Maharaj told him that I will help you if you will, you've moved Kailash Parvat, bolte to main utha sakta hu. You can do so many things, Ravan. I'll show you a mountain. If you lift that mountain, I will help you against Lord Ram. So it was a small mountain, chota sa parvat. Ravan could not move it. So Snega, do you know what this parvat is? This parvat, you remember when you Ravan, you came as Hiranyaksh, long time back. You as Hiranyaksh were killed by who? Varadev, right? By Varadev. This is the earring of Hiranyaksh that fell when Varadev killed Hiranyaksh. This is your earring. Over the ages, you have lost so much power that now this earring, this mountain, your earring hai, you are not even able to move it, that you could wear it in your ear before. Even then you were killed by Varadev. And your power has deteriorated so much that you cannot even move this earring. And Varadev has come as Lord Ram, who has become so much more powerful. And you think you can fight Lord Ram? So Mother Sita ko Lord Ram ko वापस कर दो. So Bali Maharaj was another person that said that. So anyways, this is, I'll finish here. We are 10:30. There are many pastimes that we can keep talking about, the mercy of Lord Ram, the compassion, his great character. But I think in the end, we should just remember that, pray sincerely, honestly, intensely that may Lord Ram appear in our heart. May his names always dance on our tongue, and may we serve his devotees all the time. please him, maybe please him, just like Lord Hanuman did, just like Angad did, just like Shabri did, just like Vibhishan did, with our service attitude, with our unconditional love for him and his devotees. Hare Krishna, Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Any questions? Anybody wants to share anything? Would one of the kids like to recite Ek Shloki Ramayan? Yes. Okay, let both of you can recite one after another. Go ahead, Avni.
Adavaram Tapovana Adi Gamanam
Vedehi Haranam.
Sridam Kanchanam Vedehi Haranam Jatai Maranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Bali Nigrahanam Samundra Karanam Lankapuri Dahanam Pashtata Ravana Kumbhakarahanam Etati Ramayanam.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Okay, Navmi, you want to recite?
Adoramatapovanadi gamanam Hatvam vedam kanchanam Vedeharanam Jatayumaranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Kalinigram
Samudra Taranam.
Samudrasaranam Lankapuridahanam Paschataravana Kumbhakaran Hananam Etadi Ramayanam.
Jai Shri
Jai
Ram.
Shri Ram. Okay, Hari Bol. We can let's all recite. Adau Rama Tapovanadi Gamanam Hatva Mrigam Kanchanam Vedai Haranam Jatayu Maranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Bali Nigrahanam Samudra Taranam Lankapuri Dahanam Paschat Ravana Kumbhakaran Hananam Etedi Ramayanam. Okay, and then there is a Ek Shloki Ramayan that comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know the tune for this. Can
Escape and go back.
कैसे है?
Escape. So stop screen share
I did.
and then escape. Minimize the zoom.
Minimize नहीं कर सकते because it's recording. Why is it not moving at all? Okay, it's sharing on the Zoom. This is verse 9.10.4 from Srimad Bhagavatam. We can just read it because I don't know the tune for this, and then we'll read the translation.
Brahma Samhita tune, it's that long.
It's really long for even Brahma Samhita. You want to try?
What are the Brahma Samhita?
वापस आओ. गुर्वर्थे त्यक्त्वा राज्यो व्यचरादनुवनं पद्मापद्भ्यां प्रियाया पाणिस्पर्शाक्षमाभयां ऋजितपथा यो हरीन्द्रनुभ्यम् वैरूप्यच्युरपनखया प्रियविरहारुषारोपिता भ्रुविजृम्भा त्रस्ताद्भिर्बद्धसेतु खलदवा दहना कुशलेन्द्रोवतान्ना. Okay, can anyone read this translation loudly?
I can read. It's just on maybe 9 or 3.
Very, very loud.
To keep the promise of his father intact, Lord Ramchandra immediately gave up the position of a Gangan. Accompanied by his wife, Mother Sita, wandered from one forest to another on his lotus feet, which were also delicate that they were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palms. The Lord was also accompanied by Hanuman or by another monkey, Sugriva, king of the monkeys, and by his own younger brother, Lord Dakshina, both of whom gave him relief from the fatigue of wandering in the forest. Having cut off the nose and ears of Shubnika, thus disfiguring her, the Lord was separated from Mother Sita. He was therefore became angry, moving his eyebrows and thus frightening the ocean. Who then allowed the Lord to construct the bridge across the ocean. Subsequently, the Lord entered the kingdom of Ravana to kill him, like a fire-devouring forest. May that Supreme Lord, Ramachandra, give us all protection.
Jai Shri.
Jai Shri Ram. So Shukdev Goswami did not spend too much time actually, because he said, Parikshit, you have been hearing of Ramayana since you were born, because the whole Treta Yuga, whole Dwapar Yuga, people have talked nothing but Lord Ram's pastimes. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the whole Ramayana is like, Valmiki's Ramayana is like 26,000 verses. Whereas, so if you think about it, Lord Ram has been glorified in so many verses. And Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses, and it is glorifying so many pastimes of Krishna. So people at that time were very well versed with Valmiki's Ramayana. So he said, you've heard so much glories of Lord Ram that in this Bhagavatam, I will spend very short time. So in very, very few shlokas, he has summarized the pastimes of Lord Ram. But this 9.10 is the chapter to read pastimes of Lord Ram, if anybody is interested, from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I think we'll stop. We'll start our kirtan.
Like is mentioned, Mataji, that Lord Ram's feet were so soft that even it could not even bear the touch of Mata Janaki.
Right.
And Mata Janaki hand, you can imagine how soft it is.
Right.
And then he's walking barefoot in the Aranya.
Right. Hari Bol. Thank you, everybody. Anyone from online wants to share anything? Any pastimes or questions, realizations? Please chant extra today. Those who chant 16 rounds, maybe 32 rounds, who chant 8, chant 16, who chant 4, chant 8, like that. More reading. If you want to read this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam 9.10, it will be very, very auspicious. And we are fasting till noon. From noon, we'll break with Ekadashi Prasad and then regular feasting. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Vancha kaltarubhischa kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gurva Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah. Ram Navmi Mahotsav ki Jai. Shri Ram Lakshman Sita Hanuman ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri